Hello everyone, welcome to Learn with Ceri. In this video I've got some tips and tricks for Quest 4. There were a couple of questions involving powers or indices this week. Let's take a look. Question 2. Find the missing power in the equation below. 7 to the power 9 multiplied by 7 squared multiplied by 7 to the power 8 multiplied by 7 to the power something else is 7 to the power 27. 7 to the power 27, guys, actually looks like this. Right, so 7 to the power 9 is this first chunk of 9 there. And then 7 squared. And then 7 to the power 8. So that leaves this bit here for our answer. And we get, how many have we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our missing power is 8. You might have noticed that actually it's an add calculation because you're going to have 27 being multiplied together, and this multiplication is no stronger or weaker than this, than any of them. They're all equivalent multiplication calculations. So in fact, what you need to do is look at adding the powers together and making it 27. And you've got 19 in the powers already, and we need an extra 8 to make 27. Okay, so there's a shortcut, a law of indices it's called. You can just add the powers if the bases are the same, and the base is the 7. And the other question involving indices this week was question 8. What is the units digit of 13 to the power 15? Right, when you are multiplying numbers, the units digit in the result only comes from the units in the numbers in the question. So we only need to focus on the 3 being multiplied, because the 10 in the 13 is never going to impact the units digit of the result. So I'm just going to focus on 3 to the power 15, and that looks like that. Now 3 to the power 1 is just 3. When we multiply that by 3, we get 9. And when we multiply that by 3, we get 27. Now I'm not going to write the 20 because the 20 is not going to impact the next result at all, because 7 times 3 is 21. Now 3 to the power 4 is 81. That's the result that you probably might know. But actually I'm not interested in the 80. I'm just going to focus on 7 times 3 is 21, which ends in a 1. And then I've got 1 times 3, which is back to the 3 that I started on. So when we multiply that by 3, we get another 9. When we multiply that by 3, we get 27. When we multiply that by 3, we get something ending in 1. And that pattern is going to repeat. So 3 to the power 9 is going to end in 3. 3 to the power 10 is going to end in 9, then 7, then 1. Then that's going to end in a 3, that's going to end in a 9, and that's going to end in a 7. And that is the 15th power of 13's units digit. So you only needed to focus on the units digit, and more often than not there's a pattern in those units digits. So hopefully that'll help out in the future sometime. Right, let's move on. Let's have a look at question 7 next. In a rectangular prism, all the edge lengths are positive integers greater than 1, and the volume is 30. Find the surface area. So let's have a quick sketch. I'll cheat because I've got the computer. There you go. And we need the volume to be 30. So when we multiply the 3 dimensions together, we should have an answer of 30. And if we think about the prime factors of 30, it's 2 times 15, 3 times 5. So there are actually only 3 prime factors, because we're not allowed to use the number 1, and they're all positive and they're all integers. That's the only option we've got, 2 by 3 by 5. So I'm going to label these 2 by 3 by 5, and they're all roughly proportional, so that helps. So now we need to work out the surface area, and this word face in here, it's all the faces, the area of each face. So we need to work out the area of this face here, which would be 6, and we've also got another area of 6 that side there as well. So we've got a 2 by 3 face, and we've got 2 of those, and so that will give us a surface area of 12. I just put a box around this so it's clear that that's going to be where my final answer comes from. I'm going to go yellow for this bit here. This bit on this top piece and this bottom piece are both 5 by 2s. So 5 by 2 is 10, and then the same top and bottom, so that's a total surface area of 20 for the yellows. And let's go green for the next bit. So the front and the back are both 5 by 3s, so we've got 5 by 3, 15, and 2 of those, so we've got a total surface area of 30. And if we add all of those together, make myself a tiny bit more space there, if we add all 3 of those together, then we have got a total of 62 centimetres squared, and that's our total surface area, guys. Oh, this question really got me thinking. Question 9, consider this list of 4 fractions. The sum of m over n and the smallest of the 4 fractions is 81 over 40. So m over n plus some other fraction is 81 over 40. If m over n is in its simplest form, what is the value of m plus n? So once we get m over n, we've then got to do an add. Right, so the first challenge is which one is the smallest of the 4? Well, we can rule out this one because it's greater than a whole. Let's compare these two by putting them both over 60, just a common denominator. So multiplying the first fraction by 20 gives me 40 over 60 for 2/3, and multiplying the second fraction by 3, I get 51 over 40. So this one is larger. Now we need to compare the 2/3 with 5/8. I'm going to put them over a common denominator of 24. I'm going to multiply the first one through by 8 and the second one through by 3. And I can see that 5/8 is the smallest. So I'm going to add, put that here as my add, 5/8. Right, okay, so if I'm adding 5/8 and I need a total of 40, I'm going to use an equivalent fraction by multiplying by 5 to be 25 over 40. And so that would mean 25 to make 81 means I've got to add 56. Now 56 and 40 are both numbers in the 8 times table, so I'm going to simplify that because that's our m over n, but it's not in simplest form yet. So 7/8 on the numerator and 5/8 on the denominator. So that is m over n. And we have to work out m plus n. So the final answer is 7 add 5, which is 12. There we go, guys. That question had a lot of steps. We made you work for your 5 marks there. I hope that's given you some extra tools for problem solving. Good luck for the final quest at stage 1. Bye-bye.